I sat at the dinner table, sipping my coffee, when my wife, Claire, leaned back in her chair with a smirk. She swirled the wine in her glass, watching me with that smug expression I had grown to despise over the past few months. "I'm tired of hiding," she said casually, as if announcing something as ordinary as the weather. She placed her glass down and met my gaze. "Just so you know, I have a wonderful, devoted lover. And now he'll occasionally stay overnight at our house." My fingers tightened around my coffee mug, but I didn't react, not in the way she expected. No yelling, no outrage. Just a slow, measured breath. I already knew. I had seen the signs, the late nights at work, her sudden obsession with her appearance, the way she avoided my touch while keeping her phone glued to her hand. But hearing her say it so boldly, without shame, that was something else. She was testing me, waiting for me to explode, to beg, to fight. Instead, I smiled a small, knowing smile. "I think he'll be useless to you," I said smoothly, lifting my coffee cup to my lips, considering he's already lost his main tool. The smirk disappeared from her face. Her lips parted slightly, confusion flickering in her eyes. "What the hell are you talking about?" I set my cup down gently, leaned forward, and met her gaze. "You're about to find out." For the first time, Claire's confidence wavered. She had expected rage, maybe desperation. Anything but this eerie calm. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice a fraction less steady. I leaned back, watching her squirm. I had let her believe she was in control. That was her first mistake. "You'll see soon enough," I said, standing up. "I suggest you enjoy tonight. It's the last time things will feel normal." I left her sitting at the table, letting paranoia creep in. She had no idea what was coming. I had been planning this moment for weeks, ever since I first suspected something was wrong. I didn't confront her. Instead, I observed. I tracked her routines, planted hidden cameras, and even followed her once, just to confirm what I already knew. Her so-called devoted lover, a pathetic excuse for a man named Daniel, had no idea that while he was sneaking into my home, I was digging into his entire life. I found everything. His workplace. His criminal record. Turns out he wasn't as clean as Claire thought. His shady financial situation. His weak points, the ones I was about to exploit. And most importantly, his medical records. That's when I discovered the perfect way to destroy him. The reckoning begins. That night, I pretended to go to bed early, leaving Claire alone. Just as I expected, she quickly got up, fixed her makeup, and sent a message. "He's coming over." I watched from my hidden security feed as Daniel walked into my home like he owned it, smirking, confident, completely unaware that this was the biggest mistake of his life. I let them get comfortable, let them believe they were safe. Then, I sent the anonymous email. Minutes later, police sirens blared outside. Claire and Daniel barely had time to react before the front door was kicked open. Officers stormed in, guns drawn. Daniel turned ghostly pale. "What the hell is this?" Claire shrieked. One officer grabbed Daniel and slammed him against the wall. "Daniel Carter, you're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and identity theft. You have the right to remain silent." I walked down the stairs slowly, deliberately. Claire turned to me, her face a mask of horror. "You," she whispered. "You did this." I smiled. "Of course I did. Did you really think I'd just let this slide?" She lunged at me, but an officer held her back. "Careful," I said coolly. "You're still legally my wife. And once I'm done with you, you'll have nothing left." Claire's world started to collapse. But this was just the beginning. She stood frozen as Daniel was dragged away in handcuffs, his protests drowned out by the officers reading him his rights. Her face was twisted with shock, fear, and fury. "What the hell have you done?" she spat, her voice trembling. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching her realize, too late, that she had no control anymore. "Me?" I said, feigning innocence. "I just let the law do its job. You might want to take a seat, Claire. Your life is about to get complicated." She clenched her fists. "You think you've won? That bastard will be out on bail in no time." I chuckled, shaking my head. You still don't get it, do you?
I said.
I wasn't just watching you two fool around, Claire. I was digging. And I found everything I needed to make sure Daniel never walks away from this. Her expression faltered. I pulled out my phone and tapped on a saved file. Here, let me paint a picture for you. Your so-called devoted lover isn't just a cheating loser. He's a criminal. Fraud, identity theft, a long history of unpaid debts. And, oh, look at this, a record of soliciting underage girls online. Claire's face went white. You're lying, she whispered. But the doubt in her voice told me she already knew the truth. I turned the screen toward Claire, letting her see the hard evidence, screenshots, chat logs, financial transactions, all tied to Daniel's name. Tell me, Claire, I said, watching panic creep into her expression. What do you think will happen when the court finds out that not only did you cheat with this guy, but you also brought him into our home, introduced him to our neighbors, and let him stay around our friends? Do you think that's going to make you look good? Her hands trembled. I didn't know. You didn't care, I corrected. And now you're going down with him. The financial ruin. As Claire struggled to process what was happening, I kept going. You might want to check your bank accounts, I said, pulling out my phone. Oh, wait, never mind. They're empty. Her head snapped up.
What?
I shrugged. Remember that joint savings account? The one you thought I was too stupid to keep track of? Turns out I was moving funds months ago. Every shady little transaction you made, every dollar spent on your affair, I tracked it all. And when I filed for divorce earlier today, I made sure you'd walk away with nothing. She grabbed her phone with shaking hands, frantically checking her accounts. Her face drained of color. You're lying, she whispered. Check for yourself, I said casually. Oh, and the house? It's mine. You signed a prenup, remember? You don't get a cent. She looked up at me, pure desperation in her eyes now. You bastard. You can't do this. I stepped closer, lowering my voice. I already did. Tears welled in her eyes. The smug confidence she had when she flaunted her affair was gone, replaced by fear. She had no money, no place to stay, and soon, no reputation. And I wasn't done yet. The final blow. Now, Claire, I said, stepping back, I'd love to stay and watch you unravel, but I have places to be. You, on the other hand, have about 24 hours before the real fun begins. She wiped at her tears angrily. What do you mean? I smirked. Let's just say you're about to be famous. Her phone dinged. Then again. And again. She frowned, opening her messages, only to see dozens of notifications flood in. Screenshots of her affair. The police report detailing Daniel's crimes. A leaked copy of the open marriage contract she tried to force on me. Now a viral post ridiculing her online. Her breathing quickened as she scrolled through the damage. You send this to everyone? She choked out. Not just them, I said, turning toward the door. Your job, your family, our neighbors, hell, even your yoga instructor. Hope you're ready to be the talk of the town. I walked out, leaving her standing there in the ruins of her own choices. And I didn't look back. Claire's fall from grace. By the next morning, Claire's life was unrecognizable. She wasn't just the town's most hated woman. She was a laughingstock. The texts, the screenshots, the evidence of her open marriage proposal, it all spread like wildfire. Friends blocked her. Family disowned her. Even her coworkers, who once admired her, now looked at her with pure disgust. And the best part? Her boss fired her. The company couldn't afford the scandal. Her great, devoted lover denied bail. Turns out, being exposed as a predator doesn't sit well with judges. The divorce papers were served. She had 30 days to vacate my house. And as for me, I was thriving, better than ever. Claire's desperation. She called me that night, crying, begging. Please, we need to talk, she sobbed into the phone.
I'm sorry.
I made a mistake. Please, I have nowhere to go. I let her ramble for a while, let her taste the panic. Then I simply said, not my problem. And I hung up. She sent a dozen messages. I ignored every single one. She made her choice. Now, She could suffer for it. Her last mistake. By the end of the week, Claire had one last trick up her sleeve. She showed up at my door. Makeup smeared. Hair a mess. Completely broken. "Please," she whispered. "I need your help. I don't have anyone else." I looked her up and down. The same woman who once smirked at me, thinking I was weak, now standing here, pathetic and ruined. I smiled. "So, what happened to your great, devoted lover?" She flinched. "Gone," she murmured. "He won't even take my calls." I chuckled. "Yeah, neither will I." Then, I shut the door in her face. She collapsed, sobbing. But I didn't care. She was dead to me. And with that, I walked away, leaving her to drown in the wreckage she built for herself. Was this revenge justified, or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you love jaw-dropping pro-revenge stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like for more thrilling tales you won't want to miss. Every like, share, and subscription means the world to us. It helps us keep bringing you the stories you crave. Your support truly makes a difference.